Well, I am very excited because I am sitting here with Josh Shack and Joy Powers, and they are 2/3 of the Piccolini Trio, which is an amazing act that I had a chance to see here in New York at the Canal Street Playhouse, and they're clowns. You guys have made a living being clowns, and you started out, we're going to get into this, the Circus Smirkus, which is an organization I'm very excited about, but tell me, how did you get started in clowning?
I saw my first circus when I was 3 years old, and I obviously don't remember making this decision, but I decided then that I was going to be a clown, and I don't remember a time in my life where I didn't want to be a clown. So yeah, it's been my life's passion and goal since I was 3 years old.
That's amazing, and you're so good at it. And Joy, how did you get started?
Well, I was a little later. I saw Circus Smirkus at age 15, and I just like fell in love instantly. I was like, I gotta try that, and I did. So,
and it's not easy. I mean, it's not as easy as it looks. What kind of education did you guys have to go through to get this level of skill that you've got?
Well, we both had lots of circus training in Circus Smirkus. We, tried all the circus skills, and clowning is a skill as well, and that's the one that really just stick for both of us. And it's like a lot of people skills, like observing people, seeing funny things, and being good with kids and things like that.
Right. And did you do other studies besides Circus Smirkus, Josh?
Mostly before Smirkus, kind of self-taught, just through observation, going to circuses and shows of that nature whenever I could, and watching videos. And then I went to Circus Smirkus Camp, which is another program besides the tour, which is what we did. And we both went there for a couple of years before. It's like a residential camp,
and
like
awesome.
any camp, but you learn circus.
And how old were you guys when you started that?
I was 13.
I was 15, I guess.
13 and 15.
And I did it for 2 summers and then auditioned for the tour. So that's where my formal training came from. But mostly clowning is, most of it what you learn is just through doing it. Something can seem funny in rehearsal, but you need to get in front of an audience to really learn it, and then you listen to the audience, and that's where you really learn it, is through doing it.
Yeah.
Where other skills you can practice and practice and practice, and then you get in front of the audience and you do it. Where clowning, you need the audience for that final.
It's a lot of experimentation with people.
And like she said, like psychology of knowing what's funny by being observant, and it's like commentary on human nature kind of thing.
Right.
You just watch people and find out a lot about what makes people happy and what moves people emotionally.
Now, one of the things you guys do that is so funny to me is because you're performing in a small theater with a ceiling about as high as maybe it's 10 feet tall, and you set up one of those big teeter boards, like people, like the acrobats would jump off of, and there's a whole number, for want of a better word, that goes on as we're sitting there in the audience going, she's not really going to be going up in that. How did that particular bit come about?
Well, it's a classic circus act.
Right, absolutely.
And circus clowns often parody circus acts.
Oh, okay.
So we wanted to do like a circus-y thing. We do a lot of little clown bits, but this one's really like a circus themed thing, and so that's where it came from. I'm not really sure how we decided on teeter board. I don't remember, but it's a huge problem.
Well, what's interesting is that even though we know you're probably not going to go smashing into the ceiling, however, you never know. It's the anticipation that really does it.
Yeah. With the theme of our show is that the circus, we come with the props, a big trunk of circus props, delivering them for the show, and the rest of the circus never arrives, so the audience is there, and we decide that we're going to do the show. So it starts off with us kind of just doing little silly things, kind of improvising, and then gradually as we get more and more comfortable, we start pulling out bigger acts, and we start juggling and playing instruments, and then at the end, the big finale is we actually change our costumes and from our clown costumes to what, like, traditional looking Eastern European circus troupe costumes. So there's big puffy sleeves and little velvet vests and stuff. So that was part of it too, was we wanted to have this big finale where it's now we've finally done the entire circus.
Right.
And actually we had somebody who, a kid who had auditioned this year for Circus Smirkus, and we kind of watched his audition beforehand. He wanted to try it out for an audience to get some advice. And he came and saw our show afterwards, and when he saw the teeter board came in, he saw the height of the ceiling, like you were saying. He's like, I was wondering how you were going to do that, but it's just a parody. We're not well, John actually, who's not here, is an acrobat, and he's very skilled, but
takes more than one person to do
we're not really acrobats, so we just do a parody of it. Like our whole show is somewhat a parody of a circus.
Yeah.
And that's the big finale. Yeah.
So I want to go back to, because this is something that parents can do. Well, first of all, are your parents proud that you're clowns?
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
We have very, very supportive families.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah.
We do.
We're lucky.
That's great.
Because it's a weird thing to do. It's true. But yeah, our families have been really supportive. They always come watch our shows, and they've been great.
We call them the mamas. We have a group of people who are actually our mothers, and then some friends of who are also mothers but aren't our mothers who come to see our show. And they're always very enthusiastic and supportive, and want to help out where they can. My mom was very excited about ironing our teeter board costume shirts because she wanted to feel like she was contributing to the show.
Yeah, my mom has us stay at her house all the time, and
she always hosts. Her mom hosts us
Thank
a lot.
you, Mom.
Right away, I enjoyed the circus. So now, for kids who might see this, see a little bit of the clip, see you guys, and say, "That's what I want to do," what would you tell them to do?
I would say look up smirkus.org, SMIRKUS.
And we'll link to that.
Yes, and if you are interested in the camp, you need to sign up early.
Yeah,
registration this year opened November 1st, and within 2 weeks it's full. So actually now even the waiting lists for Smirkus are capped.
Right.
It's so popular, the camp, that it filled up in 2 weeks this year. So next fall, if you're interested, sign up for summer of 2013, and then Smirkus Camp, if you're in the Northeast area, is a great thing to do. There's lots, and also if you look up American Youth Circus Organization, ICO, they'll have a bunch of links that will direct you to circus programs that are in your area. Smirkus is the only real touring in a tent professional tour in this country, but there are many youth circuses throughout the country that do a lot of throughout the year programming, after school training, and then a few performances at the end on weekends, kind of thing. So
that's great, and mostly finding a chance to perform, right? Just
yeah.
trying it out and having a chance to perform.
For clowning in particular, really just going out there and doing it, you know.
Well, that's great. Well, thank you guys so much for coming in and talking to us. It's called the Piccolini Trio, and they are amazing. Look up Circus Smirkus. We'll have a link to that, and thanks for stopping by.